So this is a supplier, right? So this is a manufacturer in France that does leather products. But this is a manufacturer in France that does leather goods. And so, if you were someone that was actually incorporating leather with your particular types of products, you can probably contact them. And like I'd mentioned before, I think we're starting to see a lot more suppliers in Europe, a lot more suppliers in Europe. And there's going to be a massive shift. The next 3, 4, 5 years, I feel like China's going to decline dramatically. I think Vietnam's going to be quite stable, and I think that a lot of the shift is going to go into Europe. And I was mentioning that the actual labor force in Europe is actually cheaper than what it is currently in China, and that's why we're starting to see a lot in Portugal alone, a country of only 10 million people. We have 300 factories that we found, and over it took us only about a month to find about 300 factories in Portugal. So I think there's a massive shift there, and just keep your eyes and ears open. If you have a particular product, look at those particular types of markets, but also make sure it makes sense, though, right? Make sure it actually makes sense to go to those particular markets. So that's important. If you're selling in the US, I think it does. All right. Okay. Yeah, the concepts are really cool, isn't it, Gail? I agree. Checking the audience that you're not targeting kids, so you could be a real winner. Kids eating cereal, that's actually helpful for them. Yeah, that's true. I think the orange bus years ago. Dave. There you go. Dave. Look at that. Gail even agrees, mate. Gail even agrees. All right, so let's
I'm in
go.
trouble now, aren't I?
That's it, mate. The next event in Bali. It's going to be hot, so it's going to be perfect for you. You can wear that. All right, so let's get into a couple more. Actually, one more. One more. Let me kind of load up these pages, making sure they load before I show it to you guys. That'd be funny. That'd be really funny. All right, we go here. So another product that you've probably seen on Amazon, I'm not sure if you have, but truffle sauce, right? So this is a jalapeno lime hot truffle sauce. And again, I'll go back to Ash Rex, who I invited on an Insta call a couple months ago when he was launching products in Japan, and he was basically launching a jalapeno sauce there. I think sauces are always going to be a massive, massive market. It really is kind of about how you actually differentiate it. Again, if you look at their particular branding, it's very, very simple. I mean, look at the label. This particular label for this particular product is the same color what they're trying to sell, jalapeno lime, right? Jalapeno lime. So they basically did it green. So that kind of makes sense. So if you have a particular product that has a certain ingredient in it, let's say lemon flavored something, or let's say it's a hair product or something like that, and there's one particular organic ingredient in it. What you could do to highlight that particular organic ingredient is change the packaging and make the packaging that particular color, right? So I think that always works really, really well because people get drawn to it. I'm a big fan of jalapenos and lime. So for me, this will be appealing. I'm like, it's a sauce, it's lime green, it must be jalapeno, right? It must be jalapeno lime. So I think that's always a really, really cool idea to do that, is to think about your actual packaging, the color of your packaging based on your actual ingredients. But not only that, but what they also did is they actually also had the ingredients, or they have the ingredients within the actual images also. So again, if you go back to one of your products, um, actually, this reminds me of a product that I might have to tell Nina about this, see if she remembers it. But Nina got a product. I can't remember if it was a skincare product. She would know for sure. But basically, it came with the actual product, but it actually had the raw ingredients with it. So basically, I think it was like cinnamon, vanilla, or something like that, or maybe it was a tea. I can't remember. But basically, they had the actual product itself, and then they had, like, imagine one cinnamon stick, one vanilla scent stick, and they basically had them separately, and they were in a little package to show you what the actual ingredients were of that particular type of product, right? And I thought that was absolutely genius because it's memorable. I don't remember the brand name, but this was a few years back. But I thought that was a really, really good idea of actually demonstrating, and people see it and they're like, oh, wow, That's super, super cool. So yeah, I think it's a cool idea. So this is Truff on Amazon.com. And again, if you look at their branding, very clean, very simple, very sophisticated, right? They really thought about their particular target market, just a black label, Truff down the middle, and very easy to know exactly what the product is. So right at the top, it says pasta sauce or hot sauce. They have the ingredients there, right? Exactly what the ingredients are there. They have the gift box there. And one thing that they're doing is real look white truffle, right? So the branding's actually white. Um, okay, so have a look at how cool their Amazon storefront is. Just truff. Look at that. Beautiful image, right? Super, super image, taking up the whole thing. And again, imagine, if you kind of look at this and the idea behind it, and we start thinking about, the products that you have, how can we kind of emulate this, right? How can we actually emulate this? And this kind of reminds me of a quote that, let's see if I can bring it up. Don Draper from Mad Men, make it simple, but significant, right? Has anyone actually watched Mad Men by curiosity, any curiosity? Curiosity, I guess. Mad Men is a super, super movie. Back in the days, it's about basically an advertising agency, a marketing agency, but basically make it simple but significant. And I think a lot of the brands that we saw today, I mean, some of them were very complex, but simplicity is, I think, really, really important, and it really conveys the message a lot. And I think Truff have actually done that brilliantly well. Yeah, it's super, super cool. So that's exactly how you see it. And then you have all these particular awesome images that are about to come up. But yeah, Amazon.com is actually very slow here. They have gift packs and everything. And this is how simplicity at its finest. That's just gray blocked images, perfect branding, right? So, but again, I think, like I was mentioning, think about your particular product or think about your brand, or it's a good way to actually even come up with inspiration and ideas by looking at these and saying, oh, how can I actually apply it to other things, right? And I think showing you guys examples and showing you guys ideas is really kind of to inspire your creativity, so that way you can start to really think about how you can actually do this. And when you look at things like design, um, depending on you can do a lot of it when you have the inspiration to actually do the design. Usually the hardest thing is coming up with the actual idea, right? So what's the actual idea? How do I come up with an actual idea that's going to work, that's going to do well? I'll make sure that flickering stops. Right. But once you actually have that, then to execute it, it's a lot easier, because you can actually then get someone that's probably not as expensive, but because you already have that concept there, they'll be able to duplicate that for you really quickly, right? And they'll be able to put it for you in a different, I guess a different, different style. So look at this. That's the truff sauce, right? Again, and then this should be a video that plays. You can probably just kind of have a look at it, go back to the Amazon.com store. I'm responsive again. But again, they kept it very, very simple. It looks very, very cool.